All right, let's talk money. Now, this will excite a lot of you, and some of you, when you think about money, still have a little weird paradigm going on, right? Ooh, I don't know if I want to talk about income. If someone were to ask you about your income right now, how would you feel? What would you like to say? Are you don't feel good about it, a little frustrated by it, or are you doing very well? How does that feel? So do a little self-reflection before you move on here. When you think about money, how do you feel? Be as honest and truthful as possible, because in this moment, if you're honest, now you can change it, okay? So how do you feel around money when you think about it here and now in this moment, okay? So you don't have to answer in the chat box unless you want to, okay? But go ahead and write some notes about yourself before we start the call. So put in your notes, start of the call, how do I feel around money before we start, okay? Very important. Okay. Two of you just joined on. So what we're doing is, as we launch into this money call here, okay, just do a little self-reflection, a little introspection. Think about money for you and how do you feel around money. Okay, be as honest and truthful as possible. How do you feel? Could feel extraordinary. Could feel abundant. Some of you on the call still trying to get out of that lackful zone. That's okay. You're working on it. That's why we're covering it tonight. Where are you feeling around money? Okay, let's launch right into it. All right, remember as we go into this money thing that we're going to change a lot of beliefs and a lot of concepts around money. And if I tell you tonight that money is extraordinarily easy to earn, it's going to go against a lot of deep ingrained belief systems for a lot of you, okay? Because right now it may be a little bit more difficult than you would like it to be, okay? But that's why we have to change the belief. So you want to just be open to rethinking some things. Just be open to it. You don't have to accept it right now, just be open. Here's where we're going to start. Here's some important reminders. These are lines from the Paradigm Shift Seminar. It's going to be the foundation as we go and launch and talk about money. Okay. We are programmed to need to know how things are going to happen. Beautiful line by Bob, something to write down for yourself. It's a program. It's part of your paradigm to need to know how the income's going to come or how to get 50 grand per month going if you're at 10 to 15 grand right now, something like that. We always want to know how. It's just a program. You don't have to know how. So think about that for yourself and your situation. Next one, ignore all the reasons why you cannot change your income and business. Ignore them. Think of all the reasons you can. Remember, your thoughts are going to dictate how you feel. Beautiful thoughts around money, it's going to feel good around money. Terrible thoughts around money, you're going to feel terrible and stuck around money every day. So these are gentle reminders for all of you. If you let logic stop you, you're done for. Bob said that multiple times throughout the seminar here. We have to focus on what we want, not what we don't have. Different line, different words there. We want to focus on what we want, not what we don't have. We're programmed to blame when things aren't going right financially. It's not working for me. If only this person paid me. If only the business was a good month. If only the economy. And Bob said it at the seminar. It's like, it's that damn Trump. And everyone was laughing. It was a pretty good joke, right? Because everyone's always out. When things are happening really well, they'll feel like they want to take all the credit for it. And when things aren't happening so well, it's a little harder to take responsibility for that. So think about your income right now. You have full responsibility for every dollar that you're earning right now. Now, that's hard for some of you, maybe, if you haven't accepted that responsibility yet. But when you take responsibility, you have the power to change it 100%. Okay? We're programmed to blame. We mentioned that one. We're programmed to pay attention to our results. Major. Okay? Major key here. In fact, I would have you write this one down. I encourage it. We are programmed to pay attention. Look at those words. Pay attention. Putting your thoughts into exactly where you are. The report card, right? We do that with students. We dictate how well a student is doing in school based on their test score, right? That doesn't dictate what their student is doing. 2 months ago, their parents could have been arguing and they got no sleep that night as a child, as a kid at 4th grade, right? And then they get to the test and the teacher can't understand why that student did terrible on that test, right? It was just thoughts that were happening months ago or days ago or whatever it was. That does not dictate how well the student's going to do in life, but we let that happen in our school system. I believe all of you are, of course, aware of that, but that habit is a program. And if you do the same thing with your bank statement and you're afraid to look at it, or you look at your bank statement and everything's going very well, but you're just not sure how to get to 50 grand per month or 100 grand per month, whatever you're aiming for, right? We have to change how we feel around money. We're going to go through that. We're programmed to justify our situation, saying, yeah, but you just don't understand my situation. That was one of the best lines I think Bob said on stage. It says people come up to me and I tell them the exact solution for what they need. And then they say, yeah, I understand that, but you don't understand my situation. So we want to just make sure and be fully aware in this moment before we jump into money talk. We don't want to justify why our income is the way it is, even if it's doing very well. If you're earning 6 figures a year, that's pretty solid. But why not 7? Why not higher? Or your first $25,000 a month.